Welcome back to Cut Like Glass. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we are talking about a question that we get hit with a good amount, which is people asking, what is a custom color analysis? Because we do custom color portfolios and they are built strictly around your individual coloring. And I know you're probably like, well, there's the 4-season system, there's the 6, there's the 12, there's the 16, there's the 24, but why not just simply put you into one of those when we can talk about custom colors that are built around your unique coloring?
Well, I have a fun answer for that, if you will indulge me and let me kind of go off on the trajectory that I'm dying to go off
the cliff. We're going off the cliff.
No, I'm not going to go off the cliff, but I'm going to go way far east and way far west because it's part of this. And so set the custom color portfolio aside.
Okay.
And let's talk about people. Hair product people say that they generally align with about 60 different hair colors that you can name.
Okay, so strictly from a box, there are 60 colors.
Yeah. I mean, we know that there are a gazillion colors, but they say that there are about 60 that they have names for. That
you put in a highlight and you got a custom color,
something totally different,
right?
Back to our point about the custom palettes. Also, Fenty, who is kind of Fenty Cosmetics, is generally thought of as having the broadest foundation range. You correct me if I'm wrong. You might know a little bit more about this than me.
Yeah, I know. A lot of celebrity brands are out there doing a really wide range.
But I'm okay with using Fenty. They have 50 identifiable skin tones. 50 skin tones, 60 hair colors.
I think there's more than that, but
okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. But let's work with numbers we can actually do math on, because I don't do math.
Yeah,
forget it. And then scientists have said they've identified about 16 eye colors. Once again, they're all over the place. They're there's hazels and there's light ambers, but let's just go with 16.
Okay.
Because those are easy for them to identify, and they say, oh, there are at least 16 colors. Then you do the math. And think about this. There are 66,000 possible color profiles that you can get out of hair colors.
Just what we talked about.
Yes.
Oh.
Minimum.
Wow.
Yeah. What we talked about in terms of minimums, Sarah thinks that there, other foundation companies have larger ranges, 50 skin tone ranges, 60 hair color ranges, not including highlights, lowlights, this, that, front, back, whatever. No fantasy shades, nada. Mush that all together with math, which I don't do math. 66,000. And you guys, any of you engineers out there, feel free to correct me, but 66,000 possible combinations.
Okay.
Now, I've just been, I did a flip through some color analysis books, and I was unable to find anybody who offers 66,000 palettes.
Yes, that would be a lot of palettes.
How does that happen? And so the thing is, what you're trying to do, divide that up, like in the 4 seasons, what you're saying is they're 50, they're I can't do the math. 66 divided by 4. There are about that many people who have to go, stop it. I don't know math. I say that. I have a right brain, not a left brain. So you divide that up. That's how many people would fit into the 4 palettes using sharing one color palette.
Yes.
Oh, no. And then on top of that, you make a slight change and you make, you add highlights and lowlights to your hair and get a different color. You add to that even more. Mm-hmm. And you know what that doesn't include? Softness or clarity. So why I didn't include softness or clarity? Think about this. You know why I didn't?
It's
because I couldn't do the math for
right.
it.
It would be impossible. It would be infinite.
Well, I'm sure that there are people out there in our audience who could do it in a heartbeat.
True.
Because we have some very smart folks.
And it's also not like this is the color. I always say this, and I will keep saying it. It is a spectrum. It is a spectrum from light to deep, warm to cool, soft to clear. So wherever you fall slightly on that scale, it's infinite. Like, drives me crazy.
So how do you combat that? How do you deal with that? How do you make sure that your client gets the exact group of colors that they need for the way they look today as you're staring at them? And how do you deal with their unique eye color, their unique hair color, their unique skin tone? But this might be you might be tempted to call this a problem. I call it a beautiful spectrum of people who are out there that are just unique. And one doesn't, unless you're identical twins, one might exactly match.
No, because there's still differences. See,
she's doing it again, the daughter thing.
I'm telling you, I just had my friend who is Egyptian. So she decided she wanted to tone her hair a little bit. She got the slightest little bit of caramel highlights. She didn't like the warmth. She didn't want to go warm. She wanted to go ash. So then she changed it to like the slightest little hint of ash highlights. And I was like, all right, you cannot wear your as vibrant colors anymore because you've softened yourself a little bit. So you need to stick with those deeper, richer colors. And she was like, okay, I'm going back to all black because I want to be able to wear those more vibrant shades. And it's the slightest little changes, but it makes such a difference. And she wears contacts too sometimes, and I'm like, it adjusts you. Those contacts that might soften your eyes ever so slightly, because she'll do like brown. And I'm like, that small little change makes a difference.
And didn't you tell me that when she added the highlights, she no longer looked as terrific and black? Like, she is one of these people who is just breathtakingly beautiful in anything she wears.
Yes.
But she used to wear a lot of black, and it was just, gorgeous.
The moment you soften yourself, and we're not even talking anything dramatic, it was the softest bit of highlights, it completely changed. So all of her vibrant colors, and then it took her 2 weeks? I think it took her 2 weeks to go back to her darker, richer, more clarity of a hair color.
Well, the way we've solved this issue is that we take our clients and we place them on every single color known to man, one by one, by one, by one, by one.
And we look at them on the scales. Like, we look at you, where do you fall? Are your shades going to be medium? Are they going to be medium deep? Are they going to be slightly deeper than that? I mean, we look at you on the scale, warm to cool. Do you fall on the warmer side? Are you warm leaning neutral? Are you neutral? Are you neutral leaning cool? Are you cool? That entire scale. And the same with soft to clear. We look at you in every single spectrum.
And every single color. And that's only for general. Then we look at, we dig into those irises and we look at the color of their eyes.
Right.
And we build an entire palette just around their eye color, and an entire palette just around their skin tone, an entire palette just around the hair color. Now, if you guys think that there's a simpler way that does not take hours and hours and hours and hours, speak up. Tell us, please. Tell us.
Well, we also need to talk about eye color, because you were just mentioning we look at shades and shades upon shades for your iris. But another thing that we have to look at is what the color does. Does it shift your eye a certain way? Does it shift your eye blue? Does it shift your eye green? Is that going to keep you inside? If you are super cool and we put a color that might be a little bit too warm, is that going to shift your eye to look more yellow? We don't want that. So there are such small nuances to building color portfolios that really does make a difference.
And then at the end of this whole process, where you've got your hair palette and your eye palette and your skin palette and then your palette, at the end of the entire process, we tell you, you don't have to follow these.
That's true.
Because we take every single color that we have painstakingly, down to the nth degree, determined, and then we put it on a big grid with the hair enhancers, with the eye enhancers, with the skin tone enhancers. And on that big grid, that gives you a color print. Think of it as a fingerprint, but it's a color print of you. You in one of the 66,000 color possibilities that are out there. This is yours. This is uniquely yours. And we encourage you, when you shop, you don't have to find something in a store that exactly matches this color, because let's face it, if you find a style that's right, if you find a hemline that's right, if you find a texture that's right, and you just love it,
it's not going to be the right color.
To have it match perfectly a color,
impossible.
Ain't going to happen. It is not going to. But with your color landscape, what you can do is look at it all together, then place your color on it, above it, and say, does this melt in to my color print? Does this melt in to my color landscape? And does it just sort of disappear into all these colors? If it does, take it home. If it hovers above all your colors and just sort of sits there going, rah, 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 put it back on the rack. All of this work, and sometimes I think, oh my gosh, we've spent hours and hours, getting to each little shade, only to tell our clients it just has to harmonize.
Right.
This color print we've created for you with such care, it has to have harmony with things that you find, and it will be beautiful on you. But you know what? It works. Nobody else has one. Of the 66,000 color combinations, not including the soft and the clear, because I couldn't do the math.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that, because it's not just soft and clear. There's spectrums of it.
Little soft. There's even softer.
Right.
There's super soft, and there's very clear, and there's wildly, it's like a continuum. Right. And all of this is true. It's a continuum from warm to cool, with neutral sitting in the middle, and a continuum from light to deep with, sort of a mid-range in there. It's all a continuum. And all we did to get that 66,000 was go to manufacturers and say, okay, where did you stop? Where did you, how did you just call it and say, okay, we're going to say you have this, 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 and this? Because really, they didn't get it either, because there's shades in between the skin tone shades. It's the hair, and Sarah just nearly jumped out of her chair when I was talking about the 16 eye colors.
Yeah, there's so much more than that. That's crazy.
Exactly. So we don't know any other way to do it. And I wish we could sit in front of you and go, oh, we have this, it's super quick and super easy, and all you have to do is think, and boom, you'll be in the right colors.
That's not the way life works, is it?
It's not.
Now, to sum up, our one question that we were supposed to be answering, why do we do custom color portfolios? There you go. Everyone is so unique. There are so many different colorings and color types out there. There are people who are mixtures of warm and cool. There are people who are just straight up neutral. There are people who are light, deep, warm, soft, clear, cool. They're in between, leaning this, leaning that.
But I tell you what, when we get it right,
we got it.
It's magic.
Now, if you are interested in a custom color portfolio, I will link it down below. You can find all of the information there. And what else? Patreon. If you want to go on over to Patreon, feel free to meet us there.
1,300 trained color individuals. People
Wow, look at that.
Yes. Yeah.
1,300 people.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, imagine being able to chit chat over your shade of blue that you just bought, and whether you want to keep it or send it back, and you pop up a picture, and you've got people going, "Oh, I love it."
So feel free to meet us over there on Patreon. We'd love to have you. Now, if you are looking for us, links are down in the description. Check everything out: our socials, our website, everything. If you want to contact us, down there. Now, lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.